I think that this will be a good change. I know for sure that I wouldn't want to play a killer match against only bots, although the survivor's surrender mechanic might be a little more dicey. I'm not sure if it'll be an option where all the slug survivors have to vote to surrender in order for it to happen, or if, as soon as all the survivors are slugged, any of them can immediately just die. Either way, I need more details before I can give it a solid thumbs up. This is a great quality of life change because every time I play Survivor with my dad, we have to bring map offerings to go to bright maps. Otherwise, he's just squinting at the screen. But this way, he will see very clearly every time he runs straight into the killer. Anyway, yes, this is good. On to the next. As you've probably seen in DBD, there's a bit of a go next epidemic. This refers to survivors who are upset with a trial that they're in and they do everything they can to give up and go on to the next game. I think that having a harsh penalty for survivors giving up is a good idea. However, I can see situations where you would need to die in order for your teammate to get hatch or something. And if that caused you to get a DC penalty and lose a grade, then that'd be really lame. I also think that there will always be some number of survivors that give up and don't want to be in the game that they're in. And there's no level of incentives or penalties that will stop that. Also, when they were talking about survivor behavior, that is an indicator of them giving up. 2 of those instances caught my eye. Walking up to a killer and standing still, and pointing at a hook. I don't think these are always a sign that a survivor wants to give up and go next. I've seen plenty of silly or cute survivors walk up to me and look up at me with their little puppy dog eyes. And they're definitely not doing that because they want to die, they just want me to spare them, or they're just trying to be cute. And I've seen a lot of survivors go up to a hook and point at my charms because I usually have pride flags as charms and they want a bonding moment where we both acknowledge, gay. So I'm nervous that any sort of human or cute moment between survivor and killer would count as a survivor trying to die. And I don't like that because I really love when survivors bond with me. So this change gets this gif as my opinion. Everything about this section is good. I think getting a notification when a survivor gets a crow is more than fair, and it combats those frustrating 2v1 situations where both survivors are just crouching in the corner of the map. And I'm glad that the devs are finally addressing the rare but very frustrating instance where a killer body blocks a survivor in a corner and the survivor literally can't do anything about it. This gets an emphatic double thumbs up. So, map offerings no longer guarantee a map. It increases the chances of the map by 20%, and that 20% doesn't stack. And map offerings are now a secret offering. I think both of these are absolutely fantastic changes. I believe that seeing map offerings can make killers play more aggressively, especially if it's a survivor-sided map. I know this because I'm the killer that gets aggressive. When I see that damn Batum offering, any chance at mercy that the survivors had vanishes. And I know that survivors sometimes DC when they see a killer bring a mid-witch or RPD offering, so it'll be nice to have less of that. I'm glad that the offerings will no longer guarantee a map. It will make them feel less predictable, and I want there to be a general constant level of chaos in the trials. This gets a yippee! Survivors will now spawn all right next to each other. This might legitimately make solo queue survivors struggle a lot more. So while I acknowledge that this is a good change for killers, I don't want to see a further divide between Swifts and solos. I think that more consistent survivor spawns will be good overall, but I will not give my thumbs up until I see this change in action. I don't even need to elaborate on this. When I read this, I just thought of those fucking side quests you see in RPGs that are like, they said that they're reworking the challenge system and daily rituals, which is good. Both of those are outdated systems. But if they get rid of my plant challenge, I will be standing outside of behavior headquarters with a sign protesting until I get my dumb, ugly little plant back. I've never really been one to push for a health update, but I've never really been against it. I always felt like mid-chapters were mini health updates that would address immediate concerns and slowly dust off old perks, maps, and killers. But I'm happy to see that they are trying to make the game better overall and not prioritizing new content. Even with my concerns, I have faith in the DVD players to scream at the developers no matter what they do because nothing will ever be good enough. I'm sorry, I know that's really cynical, but it can be difficult to separate the legitimate concerns with the constant, unending complaining, especially when there can be a lot of overlap. I love this game. I want to see it continue to grow and thrive. I see this health initiative as an absolute win, and I hope y'all will share your thoughts with me about my thoughts or about the update overall. Or you can talk about the fact that guinea pigs have been domesticated for thousands of years, and they were used as food, pets, and gifts in ancient civilizations. I think that's kind of cool. Thank you to my awesome Ko-Fi people. I love you guys. Okay, bye!